Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. For anyone new to the channel, as always, I gotta give y'all the spiel. I know returning viewers are like, Joe, we've heard this time after time after time. But fellas, I know there's one person watching this video that has never seen my channel before. And if you're listening, whoever that is, Billy, William, Will, Bill, you may even all be the same person. But if you're listening, welcome to Wind Waker Unflooded, a 3D modeling fan art project all about reimagining the land of Hyrule in the art style of the Wind Waker. That's the project. That is the project. So, it is as simple as that. I could keep talking about it, and I will keep talking about it. But also, it's that simple. I ain't gonna stretch it out. That's not who I am. That's not me. I'm not the guy that rambles. I've also never told a lie, but yeah, welcome to the channel. So, what am I saying? But yeah, this has been a long requested location. I know people have been asking for this since the very beginning. This is Zora's domain. We're starting work on it today, and there's still a good bit left, work left to do on it. Spoiler alert, even at the end of this video, you're going to look at it and go, yeah, there's still a good bit of work left, but this will already kind of give you an idea for the vision that I'm going for. Just some of the ideas that I have and, just kind of the direction. Yeah, just the direction that I'm going in. So, and I'm excited for y'all to see it, because I think already, it's going to give you just a little taste of the vision, even though there are a lot of other things I want to implement. And there's things already that I did while recording this video that I've thought differently about. And you may not even really be able to see evidence of some of those decisions yet, but maybe you can. But I started going for a really circular look. And the idea there was that inspired by the lake bed temple from Twilight Princess, I was like, well, what if there are stairs, in Zora's domain that rotate, and you can press a button and they'll switch to another location, and that will that's just how they get around. Classic Zora architecture, and lake bed temple could be an example of that. And so I really wanted to keep things circular so that it's easier for the stairs to spin into place. But I've realized afterward it was just I think the circular nature of it, especially for a large location, it just feels too much like a coliseum, right? It feels too much like an arena. It's too regular, and you don't need for stairs to act in that way. This is, I asked the community, and this was their response. And I do think part of what I like about the location is that it's more naturalistic, and it's that combination of a functional city plus a naturalistic model. Maybe I didn't say that well, but this is Zora's domain, as we've seen it before in Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, is a cave dwelling, but it's something that is also very possible of being. It can be ornate, it can be beautiful, and that's really what I want to bring to this version as well. Even if it's a new design, even if it's a new version, it's a cave dwelling. The city behind a waterfall. People drilling into the cliffs to live, but it's also something that can be ornate and beautiful, as so many cliffside cities are. These sculpted cities, I think about Petra, right? And that's a little different, but I love the way that looks. And there's some Native American cliff dwellings in Utah, I think, some of these ancient remains, and I think those are just incredible, right? And even though those are stylistically very different from this city, I kind of want to incorporate that it's kind of it's a human city that is very complementary to nature. And I think my approach to this as well is that it's all a part of this mountain, and from the outside the city may even be invisible, and I'm kind of excited about that, as it is in Twilight Princess, and especially Ocarina of Time, right? Ocarina of Time kind of makes a point of Zora's domain really being a hidden city that you can't access unless you're a messenger of the royal family, right? It's hidden behind this waterfall that can only, the waters of it will only be parted by playing Zelda's Lullaby. Ocarina of Time spoiler. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, I want to really emphasize that quality, this hidden city that is very respectful of the natural world around it. And I've talked before in videos about this channel as I've been approaching this, that I want to be careful about that, right? Because some of this language of, like the tribes that are more naturalistic, some of that language has been used historically to oppress people and, spread racist ideologies. The idea that, there may be a group of people that is more in tune with nature is a way of saying that they're more primitive. And I want to be clear as I use this language that I don't want to use it in that way or to suggest any of that rhetoric. There have been some really problematic uses of these comparisons to people groups that are more in tune with nature. And I want to make sure that I'm not bringing, how do I put it? I don't want to bring any of that rhetoric into this world. The Zoras are more in tune with nature, but that does not mean they're more primitive. That does not mean that they're more or less advanced. They have their own style of technology. And just like as a people, as a people group, they are no more or less primitive than Hylians. And so I don't know, I guess I just want to communicate that just because I know that some of that language historically has been used in problematic ways. And so I want to be careful about how I voice that. And, spoiler alert on this channel, I know that I'm bringing you all together as a Zelda community. I know that this is all about an art project. But if I can encourage y'all to appreciate history as well, to appreciate the diversity of this world that we share with each other, if that's, kind of a, what do you call it? An end product as well, as part of this art project, then that's something I value. I want to be able to, I don't know, I have a platform now, right? And this isn't something I think about too much. It's oh, I have a platform, let me use it. But it is just something that if you learn something from me as I'm talking on this channel, there are things that I want you to take away. And I've talked about this before, is that also more than anything, I value creativity. And I want to encourage y'all to be creative. And I want to empower your creative projects. And I think that is also not just something I have to say, but it's also implicit within the creation of this project. But I think I'll get more into that after this short message. I think this is just, maybe it's just me, but I think this is a perfect time for a short little break. So let's regroup after this short message. If you want to be able to support me as a creator, there's several ways that you can do that. Become a member on Patreon. It gives you access to exclusive bonus features and early access content in all of my filmmaking projects. Stuff like early access to scripts that I'm writing, storyboards, previs, rough cuts, and music that I compose. I'm a composer, and any music that you've heard in the background of this video was my music. So go to Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to music and type in Joe Kendrick. That's JoeKendrick. Look up Joe Kendrick on Spotify. And we're back. Welcome. But yeah, as I was saying, I do think, just to put it into words, maybe you've seen it just through the nature of this project, but, I want to encourage y'all to tackle ambitious projects and to be, of course, smart how you do it. There are things about the how big this project is that are only possible because I didn't give myself a deadline, and I knew that it's, I'm not asking anyone to work on it, for free. It's something that I'm happy just whittling away at in my own time. And because of that, because there's no deadlines and because I care, it can take as long as it takes and there's no pressure. And because of that, it is a big project, but I can tackle it in small ways just from time to time with the time that I have. And so it's something that you have to be I want to encourage y'all to of course, take all these things into account whenever you tackle big projects, but also just to empower y'all that no matter what your skill level is, if you have a creative vision, I want to empower y'all to say, well, go for it. Create what you want to make. And I've talked before on the channel, it's doing small projects, I think, is in some ways, I feel this as a filmmaker, I've been able to get so much more done by making my projects smaller. In college, I was doing a lot of 30-minute short films, and those really taught me a lot. I was able to do a lot in those films that, exercised a lot of different muscles. But like now, after school, I've definitely found that I've benefited from tackling smaller projects where I can get people together and let's knock out a short film in a weekend, in a single day, and let me do more short projects. And so it is just like it depends on the project, and there's just things that you have to think about your own limitations and what plays into each project. But it's something that like that means more when I'm trying to get more done quickly, is do a shorter project. But when I have all the time in the world, and with Wind Waker Unflooded, there was no timeline. I could get it done in a year, it could take 2 years, it could take 3, it could take 4, who knows. And I definitely think that with all of you on board now, I found that like I'm going through it so much quicker. And there's several reasons for that. Part of that is the encouragement, but it's also just the fact that y'all have ideas, and that I don't struggle with writer's block, but like it just because at any given point, like if there's a project that I'm inspired by, I'm not going to have writer's block. That said, it does make a difference that all of you are leaving comments with your own ideas and perspectives and notes and things that you want to see in this world. And just being able to draw from all of that makes a difference, and it motivates me, and it gives me ideas. And being able to pull from that, from you make this project possible, even if you're not a contributor. And I really thank everyone who has been able to contribute to the project already. I've been able to collaborate with some really talented contributors who've done models and textures, and already that makes such a huge difference. Even concept art. And I don't mean to suggest that as if that's a lesser contribution. In some ways, that's even more important. In some ways, right? Just being able to share a vision. And so yeah, like, and if you're watching this and you want to contribute, feel free to send me an email, and I'd love to have you on board as a 3D artist or a concept artist, or if you just want to talk about the project, feel free to comment down below your ideas. All of these things make a difference, and I want to definitely encourage you, if you're interested in this project, to reach out, because I would love to lift up y'all's work as well. I have no ego or pride to feel like I have to be the only one working on it, even though there are creative decisions that I want to make that do come down to my opinion, for sure. And even though like I want all of the community to voice their opinions, there are times where I'll say, you know what, this is just how I want to do it. And I'm okay saying that as a, as the, it is my project. So I can make those calls when I want to, but also like I respect all of y'all's opinions and want y'all to be happy with the project and feel that it, that it was created in a way that is in line with the way you would have created it. So I want all of that to be true, but all this to say, yeah, just if there's anything you learned from me, I want y'all to feel like you can make that project, even if it feels a little crazy, even if it's beyond your skill level. Because when I started Wind Waker Unflooded, it was more ambitious than I had any talent for. And I'm still not the most talented 3D modeler. And I'm sure if you've been watching the channel for a while, you can see some of that, right? There are times where I'll lay something down and it's a little rough. And there are times when I can really polish it. And I've made things that I'm proud of. And there are parts of this map that I am really happy with, for sure. Like, so I think I'm capable enough for the project. But there are things that, like, especially when I started this project, it was way beyond my skill level. But just because I could already tell, I was like, I know that it's possible. And I know that with a little time, and if I want to learn more and do more projects that push me to learn more as a 3D modeler, I can bring this world to life that I've always wanted to see. It'll just take a little patience, it'll take a little learning, and it'll take growing. But that's something that I really love, how much it's already pushed me to be better at creating. And that's empowered other projects that I've done. I've done other short films that use 3D modeling in a way that wouldn't have been possible before I started learning this project. So anyway, it's been really inspiring to work on it. I do think I'm gonna have to start wrapping up the video. So I've already told you how you can support me as a creator, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. I'm just gonna let all of you know how thankful I am that y'all are watching the video. So comment down below. I've given you the spiel already. Anyway, I'll let y'all go.